Right, hi everyone. So my name's Claire, and my divine life purpose in this lifetime is to bring the true twin flames together and also to help people work out who their true twin flames are. Because I know that, people can get into all sorts of situations out there. Basically, and I don't usually introduce myself that way, so that's quite interesting. It came through like that. But yeah, all of my work is for twin flames to bring you into inner union, and that's, yeah, basically the basis to bring you into inner union, and that attracts in your person. And if you want to know the banter behind me saying your person, it's just basically it's somebody I like tuning into, and it's their accent. So it's just, I don't know if it's just going to be a thing that comes through all the time, but that's how it is just now. So, but basically, everything I do is clearing, channeling, and healing energy. And I feel this is, I'm being strongly guided to basically channel some Mary Magdalene codes to you, which is basically just the same as what I do every day. But like I'm specifically channeling the energy of um, wherever there is this kind of forbidden, hidden, secret element to a union, which is the case for a lot of unions, especially if you really, really strongly resonate with the archetypes of Mary Magdalene and Jesus. And it's like, that is like like I said, this is my life's work. So it's like I can easily spot what the modern synchronicities are with the archetype, even if you can't. But I'm, more than sure that if you strongly resonate with these archetypes, you're going to get it. 144. Yeah. And if you're part of the 144. So basically, but basically what I'm saying is don't usually I don't usually have the card sitting there, right? Like, and if I do, I've naturally drawn it, and then I'm like, this is the card I drew. But I'm being very transparent that I didn't pick this. I went in and got it. So, but it was so weird because I very seldomly would I do that. It would only be like you said, if I've just got a brand new deck and I happen to have read something that's like, right, this feels really current, this feels like something people really need to know. So I'm just going to read it. And so that's basically what's happened here, is because I feel this is just such a powerful time of divine unions coming together, twin flame, true divine unions. I feel they really want this to be heard. And so you'll hear me say on the other videos, because I'll put this one out, well, probably just after. I've put one of them out, and the next one, I done after that blew me away, because basically I was doing my own cards, and well, you'll hear what I said. I said, like, these are the cards I want for myself and for anybody else that resonates with it. And the card I pulled for Divine Feminine, like, was Jesus. So kind of quite funny when I've got banter from my memberships from years ago, when it was, I think it was around Easter, and I was like, oh, I've pulled Jesus. Do you know what I mean? Because I pulled the Jesus card at Easter. So anyway, it's just quite interesting. But yeah, just basically there's strong Mary Magdalene and Jesus codes coming through today. And again, I feel it is to do with the fact that I don't always say where the transits are in my chart, but I've said quite a lot recently that, like, which even that's really weird, because the 8th house is about secrets. And, this new moon is in my house of secrets. But that is where I hold people's secrets as well, that very shamanic, priest-like, counselor energy, which, and again, remember, everything I do is shamanic healing, it's deliverance, and I'm also it's counseling. So it's healing. So there's something here that they're really wanting me to use this transit um, of this deep healing that is going on for me and that I'm doing for others, which is basically every time you're definitely, if you are doing like one-to-one work with me, I'm helping you with that deep, deep shadow work, which I'm always doing with people, but also that deep integration of your own inner union, because unless you can really get in touch with the deep, dark parts of yourself, the physical union is going to be further and further away. So that's really what I'm holding space for when I'm on these Zooms with people. It is very intense, which is why, like I say all the time, there's people that kind of followed me for years, but they've never actually had a session. And I used to 444. I used to be like, that's angels. I used to be like, what is that all about? But I do genuinely feel it. It's like, something in your soul must let you know when it's time. Um, so there's a reason why I've got in my info bit. I'd rather be someone's shot of whiskey than everyone's cup of tea. And it's just a bit funnier that I'm Scottish too, but it's true, you know, I'm not for everyone. I don't claim to be, but the people I'm for, I'm really for you, you know what I mean? But I am, at the same time, I am here, you know, given that healing, and it's, you know, the healing is there for whoever wants it. You don't need to be a twin flame. It's just been my experience that for, you know, that it's Crystal Clear Vision's 9th anniversary around the summer solstice, which is coming up soon on the 20th there. And yeah, it's only twin flames that are drawn to me. That's who I help. So like you said, but if it, again, I am feeling that's going to change. So if you are somebody that's lurking, you're like, well, you know, I'm not a twin flame. I don't really get all this twin flame stuff, but I'd really like to, you know, to get some healing with you, some soul retrieval, or I'd like to get, you know, a reading with you. Although I've always stressed, you know, it is not just a reading that I do. I am primarily a healer. But yes, I do love my cards, and I'm a medium, and I'm a shaman, and blah blah blah. Yeah, don't be afraid to get in touch, basically. And then look, there's a hiding thing again. People might be like, oh, she only helps twin flames. I can't, but you know, so just whatever that's all meant to mean. Like I said, I feel yeah, whatever that's all meant to mean. So I don't, my hand's getting a bit sore holding this. So right, so I'm just going to read this to you. So basically I said on the other video, but the primary reason I bought this deck was actually for this card, because I saw it and I was just like, oh my God, like it was just really, really speaking to me. I can't even explain why, but it's like, because of like, yeah, because of what I've helped people with day in, day out for nearly 10 years now. It's like, and again, lifetimes, if we're really taking it that far. It's like, there's always this hidden, forbidden element to twin flame unions that is, it's just really, really present. And I do feel it is because the true twin flames, we carry this energy of, you know, like, oh, something's a bit taboo about it. So I just feel, for maybe it's for people that don't know as much about this, or, you know, you've maybe heard me say it or other people. I just feel like, you know, and it isn't that long this, but I just feel the way in which it comes through a lot that I shed light on, and what other brave divine feminines and divine masculines shed light on, about particularly the jealousy and the envy that can come from not only present lovers, which is more understandable, or, you know, ex-lovers, or but you know, the friends and the family, and really anybody. And, you know, it can happen in work as well. You know, it's any field basically where people are threatened by this union and this love. I just feel the description of this card really backs up. Yeah, it just really backs it up, of what I say all the time, and what I'm sure you'll hear other people bring through all the time. And it's just basically, before I read it, it is just a fact that this is like this. I don't even really know that, but you know, it's like, this isn't it's something about this isn't no ordinary love or something. It isn't an ordinary love. It is a true, powerful, true love, divine union orchestrated by God, like divine union orchestrated by the divine, you know what I mean? And it's, people feel it. And this card mentions something about, you know, even if you want to keep it a secret, you can't. Like, people feel it. They feel it in your aura. Like, and it's why, if, you know, anybody that is truly a twin flame, when you've been with your twin flame, you know, whether you're recognizing it or not, like, you know, I would say, you know, if you're not recognizing it, you probably need some more self-awareness, which I could tell you about, but it's that you can just sense that people are noticing that there's this spark. Or it kind of reminds me of that wee cheesy film I've caught a few times. That it's called? It's called It Was Always You. I'm sure it was called I think it's called It Was Always You. So that could be a message there for someone too. It was always you. But there's a bit in that where the wee granny is talking to the woman that is engaged to someone else. Well, it actually happens to be the guy's brother. So again, if that comes into it, like, whatever, but it's kind of like, you know, the point is, she's engaged to somebody that it's really just, she's following the status quo. Like, she's not in love with him. It's just kind of the next thing to do. But the one she was really had the hots for when she was younger, and he has been in love with her the whole time. He was away traveling and all that, and he kind of seems like he's a divine feminine in that film, because he's wild and spontaneous, and you know, where she'd sort of stayed put and done the next logical thing. So I feel both what I'm describing could actually describe bits and bobs of both twin flames, really depending on what you're both like. But the point is, there's a bit in that film where the granny slips up and she's like describing that zing. She calls it that zing. And so you could call it that spark or that chemistry. And she's just like, the woman is like, so why didn't you marry the guy that you were really similar to? And she's like, well, because with him, I didn't have the same zing that I had with, your well, it's not her grandpa, with such and such, whatever the one she ended up marrying. Like, he kept the romance alive. He kept the excitement alive. We were different. We brought out each other's strengths. I mean, it's basically like, it was like she was describing, somebody's, like basically yin yang. Like, you could be very different, but when you find that balance, it's like a perfect match. Like, you're perfectly imperfect for each other, kind of thing. But yeah, anyway, I don't know why I've went in that big film, but I just always trust. The point is, it's like people feel it because there's a spark, there's a zing, there's something that you don't see too often, and unfortunately, that can bring out people's dark side. It can bring out their shadow, and that can even mean, your nearest and dearest, when it reached 11:11. There, you see, that's part of their spiritual awakening, and I really do feel at this time on the planet, that's maybe why they're getting me to read this card. Because watch this, I've read it like this. I've went and basically got the card, but I wouldn't be surprised if, like, in one of the videos over the next couple of days or next week, that's going to come out, itself. But I feel this is a message about you're actually going to have to do something. So, and I feel it's more than likely this is for the divine masculine. Like, it's like you have to make this happen. So at 11:44 as well, and that's not always the message here, but that's coming through really strongly because, and now I'll read. Now they're telling me to read this, so bear in mind everything I just said about that film and all of that, and because I was just going to read the book, but they got me to say all of that. So, Desert Rose, true love cannot hide. To keep your love secret will be difficult. Like the rare desert rose, people will see it and sense it. Some will share your joy, and others will be unable to overcome their shortcomings to be happy for you. Again, that's when I just said it will be people's spiritual awakenings that it highlights to them how jealous they are of you having this type of union. So I must stress, it feels like they're talking about past things when you can reflect back on it and think, oh yeah, actually I can see that that person was trying to put me off them, or I can see that there was some kind of weird joy in that person that I sensed when they were telling me that that person's moved on, or that they don't mention me, or these are all the things I can hear different people's karmic energies basically around them have put in the minds of this, planting seeds of doubt basically in the divine feminine or the divine masculine, and which again, it does feel like currently for a big majority of divine masculines, this is something that the penny is only dropping with now, because remember, that's usually how it goes, is like a lot of people are trying to tarnish the divine feminine to the divine masculine, and they can successfully do it for quite some number of years, and sometimes you don't even find out what's been said till a lot further down the line, which is very unfair, but it's just, that's what I've seen with the many people I've worked with, and more than certain that that's happened to me as well. But it is also just the fact that, like I said, they're divinely timed unions. I just feel there's a divine timer that goes off, and the divine masculine's going to know when it's time for this divine union to happen. But again, so it depends which way you look at it. It's all meant to happen. It's all lessons for both parties. But and that, what they're getting me to say before I read the rest of this, is it feels like there is a strong message coming through about anybody that has let their dark side, which is basically unhealed shadow parts, which, breaking it down, is really like a part of your wounded inner child or your hurt inner child, that you didn't get something, or you weren't given the love that you deserved. You weren't given, because Mary Magdalene's about unconditional. That's why I'm so strongly connected. Like, everything I do is about unconditional love healing. And like I say with time, it's very rare to find a woman that actually is truly in that type of forgiveness, that genuinely means it. That they forgive their enemies, and that they're in unconditional love. Like, I can tell when I find people online where they're like, yeah, I can feel the truth in it. And I can also tell when it's like, and that just reached 1441 as well, mirrored numbers. And I can tell when it's people are talking a good talk, but it's not genuine. But basically the power is that if you have got this unconditional love and forgiveness towards everyone and your enemies, which, like I said, is that's very Jesus-like and very Mary Magdalene, then it is really powerful and it can heal the most darkest of situations. And that's basically what I'm saying. If you're recognizing that you're somebody that you did get in the way of a divine union, now is your chance to, like, pray for forgiveness. Pray for forgiveness from, the Holy Spirit, the divine God. Like, put your apologies out there into the ethers if you can't find the strength to do it to the actual people, which is going to be the case for a lot. And, that's, basically that's the guidance. But again, sadly, a lot of people will just choose to act out of their darkness and their shadow, and they will just stay in that kind of seething jealousy because they haven't got something. Whereas what's really sad about this is when these divine unions do get together, they're going to be so powerful, and the love is going to be able to transmute and transform, how you feel about yourself and how, relationships are around the divine union. That it's like I said, it can actually help people come out of that darkness and come out of acting from their unhealed shadow, because there's nothing wrong with, you know, coming from your shadow when it's healed. And that's like why I say all the time, like, if it's like, it's like, oh, I'm gonna let my shadow have the cake tonight, or I'm gonna let my shadow do this, or, what I mean, it's kind of like if you've done that work and you've integrated and you know that it's like it's nothing like too dark, but it's like embracing that kind of cheeky side, that's healthy, that's honest. Again, this is why I'm not a big fan of the whole love and light, because so many people that claim love and light, it is false light. And again, I just like to stress, that is just my personal observation and preference. If you do yourself say love and light, or you follow other people that say that, it doesn't mean that they're not genuine. Because again, there are some people that I really like as well that do still say, they say love and light. But just generally, that's what I'm saying, is like true integration of both, yin yang, light and dark energy. That's why true divine feminines find that forgiveness for not only their own twin flame, but the enemies. Because like I said, in some dynamics, like, it can seem like your twin flame has been the enemy, and again, it's always because something was put in the path, like, that's made them think like you were an enemy to them. It's all very complicated. Not everyone's is that dark, but I've worked with a lot of people where it has got like that, and it's just kind of like, yeah, anyway. So this is what I mean by, although I've picked this card out manually, it's this is it's a strong energy clearing activation that's coming through here. So right, I'll read the rest of it. So, in legend, the most beautiful rose in the world lies in the desert. It is rarely seen, but has a mesmerizing aroma that draws those who are lost in the wilderness and have given up all hope. They're telling me to interrupt there because, like I said, that is like how I've just described my 8th house energy, where my north node, my destiny, lies. That is why people come from all over the world and have done for the last 10 years. And again, I'm making it sound like I'm fully booked, and, it's not quite like that. But you know what I mean? When people have got the eyes to see of what I'm able to help them with, they seek me out, and they are lost. Most people that do book with me, whether they realise it or not, they're lost in some sort of way, and they need that support. Even if that's just, you've moved through a lot of the darkness in your life and you're lost on what to do with your business or your spiritual gifts. Like, it's always something like that. The rose is believed to be a sign from God. No matter how exhausted you are, beholding the rose's incredible beauty and experiencing its intoxicating aroma will replenish your strength. Now I know why I wondered why in the last video they were making me go into detail about how, like, although I love the sunflower analogy for my personal journey, and basically a lot of people that I attract, like growing up through adversity to reach the sunlight, like going through the darkness to reach your happy moments. I'm not a big fan of like sunflower, they're not my favourite flowers or anything. I just like the analogy. And I was like, yeah, it's more the rose that's my favourite because it's simple and beautiful and any colour of it is amazing. And, and I definitely love the whole, oh yeah, like they're making me talk about the blue rose because it's about, the mystery and the secret love. And also the blue rose is about lovers reuniting. So powerful message coming through. You will be led out of the desert and out of danger. This is the power of love. It can inspire, restore, heal, and lift your vibration to the highest levels of existence, which is why, again, they're making me say, because it's God speaking through me and the guides and love and the spirit, it's so sad that people keep unions like this apart, because it's these true divine unions that are going to put that unconditional ripple effect out into the world and heal the most darkest of situations. So it's the irony is the people that have been jealous and envious and held people back could miraculously like change their opinions. I'm not talking about overnight, but with twin flames anything is possible. Mary Magdalene and Yeshua would have been absolutely illuminated in this state of love. Their alliance may have caused jealousies among those apostles, as they could not share their bliss or know how to create it for themselves. Really take that bit in. The divine unions, they couldn't share their bliss because the people didn't know how to create for themselves. So rather than actually seeking guidance and support and healing from Mary Magdalene and Jesus, they chose to be jealous and gossip and keep them apart. And, well, obviously they didn't keep them apart in the end, but it's kind of, and that's the point. These divine unions will come into the physical. And that's why it feels like they're getting me to give this message right as it's reaching 21 minutes. And 21 is the world card. Something coming full circle, learning your karmic lessons. It's happy endings as well. And look at that, it's reaching my twin flames numbers right as I said that. So, which to me is always a sign of when I get drawn to my numbers or his. Well, my birthday numbers specifically mean union, because of my birthday numbers all add up to the 4 of Wands, 1111, the twin flame union card, celebrations, stability. But when I see my twin flames numbers, I always feel it's like, well, different things, different times. But when I'm doing a collective message, it's like, about the divine masculine stepping in their power, I feel. So and I feel in this case, because of what I just read about the jealousies, I feel this is the divine masculine seeing what they couldn't see before. But remember, I'm not encouraging this to be like, yeah, the divine masculines are going against the people that went against them and kept them apart. They're having to stand up and say no and put boundaries up to people that they can see have got in the way of this divine union and got in the way of the divine masculine seeing who their true person was, their true divine feminine. And again, it's just things like jealous pals getting the jealousy in because they're not with who they're meant to be with out of fear. People that have settled for people that they might be, they might get on with well enough. They could even have kids with, but it wasn't their true love kind of thing. I can think of loads of people that I resonate with. And I could go on and on. Family members that again have chose to settle and they're jealous. It reminds me of in the Notebook, when the mum and the dad were keeping Noah and Ali apart, and then it turns out that the mum's been in love with somebody the whole time that she goes to check up on once a year. You know what I mean? There might be something very specific like that. I feel there is with me saying that. Find something, if not someone, to love and cherish. A pet, a person, a garden of exotic aromas and vibrant colours. Find paintings, music, whatever will raise your frequency to a strong place where negative energy cannot dwell. And I think the main message here is when the physical unions take place and the heart to hearts and the conversations and the secrets are revealed overall, as much as you may want to hide this love, you're not going to be able to, because really it would be, what's that? I'm hearing the travesty. It would be a travesty. It'd be a tragedy to hold back this true love from others that really need that healing. But I have to stress, you have to really protect it too, because it's reminding me when I said in the last video, I don't know if that's the one I published, but I think it was one of the ones I published, that there was a woman that I had found on here years and years ago, just really, really resonated with her because she was Scorpio rising, just brilliant personality and everything, very talented. And, I quickly realised with the messages, she's a twin flame. And then I'd found out she was a twin flame in union. But this woman comes on and off YouTube because of she gets such severe spiritual warfare. And I feel that's why I just really, really resonated with the messages. And, I'd got a couple of personal readings from this woman before and really, really grateful because she picked up on the people that were hidden enemies for me around me, which were devastating at the time, but it was completely stuff that was undeniable. And this is what I'm able to do too. And that is the gift, I believe, of Scorpio risings. It's going to be painful when you witness who around you hasn't got your best interests and intentions and could even be silently, secretly sabotaging you, planting the seed of doubt. But, thank God for the people like me and that woman. And basically, really, that's quite true. All the people that I love on YouTube, not all of them, but a lot of the people that I listen to messages of, they are Scorpio rising, because we can pick up on the truth. And like I said, the truth sometimes hurts, but it does open your eyes up to what you need to see to be happier. So, wow, powerful message. So I'm going to trust that this reaches who it needs to in divine time. I've made a playlist up called like Mary Magdalene channeling, Sisterhood of the Rose, something like that, because I feel whenever I use these cards, I feel it's going to be quite a significant message, like the bits that I'm adding in to it from like the channel Mary Magdalene Jesus is going to be powerful messages. And like I said, I've got quite a few decks that are Mary Magdalene Jesus related, so I just felt guided to do that. So yeah, I hope this served you. And again, if you want to book a personal session, all the details will be below. And yeah, have a good day whenever you watch this.